Hey everyone, welcome to the manhole. Today we're going to look at a product called the Ultra Tree Seat. It's by Muddy. You can get it at gomuddy.com. We're actually working in the manhole today. It is quite cold. It's about 22 degrees right now. And so let's take a look at this product, see what we got. Hopefully all the camera equipment holds up. Like the name says, this is a tree seat. It's not a tree stand, it's a tree seat. So you attach it to the tree, you sit down on it, you put your feet on the ground. It's not meant to be have you stand on it or anything like that. Okay, let's open the package and see what we've got. We have a seat made with a steel frame. Looks like it's coated some sort of powder coat or corrosion resistant coating. We have a seat support underneath the seat. We have a box of parts here, strap assembly, connection plate and V plate. We have the rear portion support for the seat. We also have a bag of hardware and an instruction sheet. So let's unpack it and take a look at it and see how it goes together. Okay, we separated the parts into their different groups. Make sure that we just kind of group things together, make sure that we have all the pieces that we need. We checked everything against the parts list on the instruction sheet. So let's take a look and see how it's going to go together. I'm going to move these out of the way. We'll start with this seat brace here on the bottom. Take it like that. We're going to come in here and push the piece down. We'll take our 4 smallest bolts. We'll add a washer to those, and then we'll get them into place. All right, so if you need to, you can take a mallet, tap these into place and get them lined up. Once you get them lined up, you take your bolt and get it inserted. Get a washer on the back side and throw a lock nut on there as well. Then you can come over to the other side, do the same thing, get a washer on there, and start a lock nut also. What I'll do next here is I'll just take a 7/16 socket and a wrench, and I'll just snug these up a little bit. Just to make sure that I'm not going to bend the bolt. So once I run the nuts down, I want to make sure that I don't tighten them up all the way. Now I need to take this and kind of roll it over to make it line up. We can do that pretty easily with an adjustable wrench here. Set it on the bar and then swing it up around into place. A little tight to do, but get her to work. As you can see, I spun it around. I have them in place now. Let's get the holes lined up, and I can put another washer on the bolt there. Get it started through the hole. Put another washer on the other side, and then I'll put a lock nut on the back portion. Okay, make sure that you don't tighten up those front two bolts too tight, or you won't be able to rotate that cross member around. I'll do the other side and then I'll come right back. All 4 bolts are now in the holes, and now we can go in and put our wrench on and tighten everything up with the ratchet. This will tighten up the fabric on the seat pretty well. Make it nice and snug for you. These ears should flatten out once you get going there. And I'll finish that up with the ratchet on this side. And I'll repeat that process on the other side. Well, we have this cross piece bolted in completely. You can see here it makes it nice and tight now. So whenever you sit down on it, it'll be nice and snug. And then as you use it a little bit, it'll conform to your body a little bit more, and then work out pretty nice. All right, next up we're going to come in on the back part, and we're going to add what they call a connection frame, which is this piece. And we're going to add that to the back. It goes this way whenever the seat is straight up. Okay, so we're going to flip it over so that it's down. It tells us we got to use 2-inch bolts for it. These are them. If you ever need to check the length of a bolt, just take a scale, go underneath the head, and across. You can see that's a 2-inch bolt. So we'll add a washer to that. We'll add a washer to our other one. We'll take it and we'll put the bolt through the bracket, slide it into the hole, put a washer on the other side, and we'll get a 5/16 nut started on this side as well. These are lock nuts, so you only be able to get them on so far before you got to put a wrench to them. Again, once we get that in, take the second one, lock her in, get a washer on it, and get another lock nut on that as well. Alright, so it should look like that right now. Get some wrenches and we'll tighten that up. So we'll use a 1/2-inch wrench and a 1/2-inch ratchet or socket on a 3/8 ratchet here, and we'll tighten that up. I like to go most of the ways. Don't tighten one down all the way until you get the other one going. Okay, those are both good and tight now. Flip it around and see what it looks like. Hole in the back. This is our 3/8 bolt. It's 3/8 by 2 3/4. Again, we can check that length. We can see that it's 2 3/4. So we'll take that bolt and we'll run it into the back. This is used to adjust the angle of the seat once you have it mounted to the tree. So we'll run this in. It's threaded all the way through. And once we get it through, we'll put a nut on the back side. We have the bolt run into the bracket. We'll take the lock nut, get it started on the other side. And then we will tighten it down, but we're not going to make it tight. We're just going to go so far. Again, you want to be able to use this to adjust the angle whenever we're all done with the assembly. And we'll leave it about there for now, and then we'll see where we're at. Next up on the assembly process is the V-bracket. We're going to take the V-bracket and we're going to attach it to the rear frame support. So this is the rear frame support. You can see there's 3 holes on it. So we got to figure out which one we want to use, right? So what we need to do is we need to make sure that this pad that's welded on there is at the bottom. That is the hole that we're going to use. So we'll take our last 2-inch bolt. We'll throw a washer onto it. We're going to take that bolt and we'll run it into that V-block. The pad is in the front, and we'll slide it in like that. Hold it from the back side. We'll put a washer on it, and we'll get a nut started. And then I'll just tighten them down with a couple 1/2-inch wrenches. Okay, what we'll do next is we'll attach this rear support to the back connection frame of the seat. What we'll do is we'll use the 2 1/4-inch bolt. Again, if we measure that, we can see that it's 2 1/4. All right, we're going to need a washer, and then what we need to do is we need to, in the hole, get another washer in there. Okay, and a little tricky here. We'll get it in, we'll slide it in, we'll put another washer on the other side, and let me turn that so you can see it. So I have a washer, a washer, a washer. We'll put one more washer on the outside, and then we'll start the nut on it as well. This will allow a pivot point, and then also allow it to not bind up on this frame. Okay, kind of like a pivoting bearing. Well, like I mentioned before, it is cold out here, so the video and audio equipment did not hold up due to the cold, so I lost a battery. I'm going to try to reshoot this last portion. So the last item left to go on is the strap assembly. Basically, what you want to do is make sure that whenever you mount it to the top hole, that the hook is facing towards you. It's facing away from the tree. The tree is going to be back there. So we'll take our last bolt, put a washer on it, slide the washer through the hole, slide it through the bracket, put a washer on the back side, and put your lock nut. Get it started. So once you do that, you can come back in with your wrench and your ratchet, snug them up, and then once we get close, we're going to make sure that that's horizontal, and there we have it. So now whenever we go to put this strap around the tree, we'll bring it around the tree, we'll come back in, hook it up onto the hole there, and then cinch it tight on the strap, and we'll be ready to go. Again, we see that we have the hinged portion and that bolt tightened up against the back side to adjust our angle. We'll final adjust it when we get it out to the tree. All right, gang, so that's the end of the assembly for the Ultra seat, tree seat made by Muddy. You can get it at gomuddy.com. Again, we're going to take this out to the tree. We'll hook it up. We'll try it out, see how it works. We'll give you our honest opinion, and then you can go from there. So that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like and subscribe, and hope to see you guys again in the future.